Hello VC, another video with me slightly drunk, getting drunker. This is a video for Metal Mickey, Mike's 100 subs. He's way past that, but I mean, you know, there you go. I'm not going to let my alcohol levels stop me, so I'm going to have some more, top them up a bit. I have changed from the last video. I did get changed after coming back from work. Rocking the Angel Witch t-shirt. Went to see them live in Newcastle 2 weeks ago. Absolutely brilliant. The beer, by the way, is especially for Mike. This is Sourpuss from Wyland Brewery in Mad Hatter. I thought it was kind of apt. You know, you've been a miserable bastard like me. So I thought, cheers to you, mate. Anyway, to those of you who are watching this thinking, what the fuck's going on? It's a contest certainly for Mike's 100 subscribers. And he put forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. And even given my current state, I managed to answer them all. So what he wanted to know was my 3 most valuable records, my favourite unusual packaging, which is here somewhere, most spent on a record I regret buying, and the album you regret selling. Some of these I might have discussed previously, at least one I know I have. But I'm sure there'll be a couple of new ones. So anyway, most valuable records. I've discounted box sets just because I class them as multiple records and figured, you know, you're going to pay a lot for them anyway. So I went for, I probably screwed up the rules already, but I've gone for my most valuable vinyl and my most valuable CDs, and we'll just work our way through them. Start with the vinyl because one, it's the more expensive, and 2, it's probably closer to my heart, and probably a band I've never seen on the VC before. This is Everything Everything in their album Arc. Now, Everything are a sort of proggy math rock type band. Now, what Mike wanted us to do was look on Discogs and see what was the highest price that's been paid for an album. So this is the highest price I've got. And the highest price that was paid for this album was £205.07. In dollars, that's probably $10 given Brexit and all that. But whatever. There you go. Everything, a brilliant band. I picked one of their albums on CD, and this is the first album and the only album I picked up of theirs on vinyl. Superb album, love it. If you like modern day proggy art rock, can't go wrong with that. I'm not sure it's anything different. I think it's just black vinyl. In fact, I'm pretty darn sure it is. It's a single album. I suppose makes the price even more outstanding. There you go. Everything, Arc. So that is the most expensive album I have. It's not the most expensive album I could have, but that comes later with one of his other questions. It comes with a poster, etc., etc. But I'm not going to bother showing you that. Anyway, next one is a classic. And this is Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti. This is my original version of Physical Graffiti. When I met my wife Jill, Zeppelin were one of her favourite bands. She had a thing for Robert Plant. I can't quite understand why, but she did anyway. She had a thing for Robert Plant. I bought her a copy of this album, and totally different. I'm sure it was taken direct from a CD. It doesn't have that wonderful sort of studio outtake from the end of In My Time of Dying or anything like that, whereas this does. This is one of the first albums I ever got. My parents bought me it for Christmas in, I'm going to say 77. It's in shocking state. To be brutally honest, I'm not sure whether the vinyl is totally wrecked or whether it just needs a damn good clean. When it was played to death back in the day, but what a cracking album. Worth the money alone for In My Time and Dying. Yeah, it's got the whole Windows movie thing, so I'm sure you've all seen it before. Well, do the whole movie Windows thing. You can flip it around and you get window scenes. But brilliant. Love that album. Next one is another bit of classic rock. And again, it kind of surprised me in a way. I mean, my copy of Physical Graffiti is not worth the £183.56 that Discogs says it is. No, mine's a little bit lower. It's been well played. That is brilliant, by the way. It's got a kind of, I don't know if it's got rosemary in it, but it certainly tastes like it. Pineapple muddle kettle sour, apparently it is. But I'm sure there's some rosemary in there. I'll need to ask Rob the brewer, just to find out. I'm saying Rob the brewer. I might be thinking of another brewery. I'll just ignore me, I've had a lot of drink. Anyway, my third most expensive piece of vinyl is Pink Floyd's The Wall original pressing, and this goes for £137.01 on Discogs. It's an album I can both love and hate at the same time. I prefer other albums by Pink Floyd. I think probably to most people's total annoyance, my favourite album by Pink Floyd is The Final Cut, which this is very similar to. But iconic album all the same. CDs. Now this is where it really surprised me, because the 3 CDs I'm about to show would be some of the last I thought would have been the most expensive that I own. Particularly the first one. The first one cost me I was supposed to tell the prices that were paid for these things. $18.99. About the same. Maybe it's a little bit less. Got it for free. Anyway, CDs. Paid a £5 for this first one, and according to Discogs, it's worth £201.32. I've never met anyone who would pay that much. Most of my mates would never pay the £5 that it cost me. But this is the outfield in replay. Now, if you're American, you probably know the outfield more than if you're from the UK. I mean, they are a UK band. They're a sort of AOR pop rock type band. I love them. Absolutely love them. I haven't got a single correction. There isn't a single album of theirs that I don't own. From Play Deep through to whatever. You know, absolutely love them. This cost me a £5. Apparently 2 people have bought this on eBay for at least 190 odd quid. It is their worst album by far. I can only assume they didn't produce that many of them. Like I say, I picked it up for a £5. The guy who was selling it at a record fair in Newcastle around about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe it's even less, had about 5 copies, so we should pick them up because I could flog them all and make some money. But there you go. That's my most expensive CD that I own. Next up, we have a compilation. This is a BBC session CD on Windsong from the band Lone Star. Not the country band, but the British hard rock band from the late 70s. Most notable for the inclusion of Paul Chapman on guitar. Paul Chapman later went into UFO and then Wasted. It's brilliant. I mean, I love Lone Star. Some of you who may have seen my previous videos will have seen me talk about John Sloman on vocals, and John Sloman appears on a couple of these. Brilliant. I mean, it's got 2 versions of their cover of She Said by the Beatles on here, and that their version of this, but although not on this particular album, was the track that got me to listen back to the Beatles. It's also got Bells of Berlin, which was an absolute fave at local rock club. If you like your UK, slightly bluesy, hard rock, you can't go wrong with Lone Star. Absolutely brilliant. I paid £10 for that. And next up, my last CD, which apparently according to Discogs is worth £112.96 of your English pence, is Adrian Bellew. It's a double mix. It's Young Lions and Pretty Pink Roses. Pretty Pink Roses was an EP that he put out. Young Lions was an LP. And this glare is really annoying me now. Yeah, whatever. Adrian Bellew, Frank Zappa, King Crimson, Talking Heads. I'm saying Talking Heads, I could be wrong, but hey ho, I'm in no fit state to talk anyway, so what the hell. It's brilliant. Absolutely love. Bellew is one of those guitar players that totally underrated. He is largely prog. He's got there's a new super group coming out, which has got Adrian Bellew, Mark King from UB40, and Stuart Copeland from The Police, I'm going to say. Could be wrong. And some bugger else who I've forgotten. But their album's coming out, and I have, I believe, in another slightly drunken moment, pre-ordered that. Hey ho. There's definitely rosemary in that. Anyway, sorry, that was Mike's first question, and I have waited far too long on that. His second question, favourite unusual packaging. There's a couple of things I thought of. I've got a couple of CDs that are in really good packaging, but it had to be this. I'm going to try and open it. I've opened it once before, and it was a bugger. And it's the first and only time I've ever played it. And this is Amon Tobin, the Dark Jovian, or Jovian, whatever you want to say. This is a record store day release, I was going to say in 2000 and something, 14 maybe. Comes in a plastic case with a little holder, and it comes in this frisbee type thing, which is a bugger to pull out the thing. I've only ever opened this once, so it's like a cycle wheel. Okay, so you get that, it's a cycle wheel, and just like a cycle wheel, you've got to peel the bugger back. So if I give up on this, forgive me, but it's a total pain in the arse. Nearly there. If I can't get this back, by the way, you're paying for the bugger. So there you go. Dark Jovian. So the other side is etched. You can probably just make that out. It's a double. And as you can imagine, I'm damned if I'm going to pull the other bloody side out. And I'm not going to put this back together on video because even I'm not that stupid. But anyway, my favourite bit of packaging. Most are spent on a record. I'm not afraid of spending money on albums. I'm not a great one for spending a fortune generally, but if it's something I want, I'll pay for it. The most I've ever spent was about 150 quid. And it's not for a retro album or anything like that. It's a box set. And I would love to say I'm going to open it for you so you can see what's in it, but I'm not because it's still sealed. And that's Rush 2112. That's the box set. For anyone who wants to read it, you can probably read it there. If you can buy it to see my face in the reflection. There you go. So what it's got? 2 CDs, a DVD, and 3 200-gram vinyls with a hologram on it. Not opened it, not because I don't want to open it, just I've never had that moment where I felt that's when I'm going to do it. I imagine tomorrow this is going to get played. And I only imagine that because tomorrow is my wedding anniversary. 27 years. God knows how she's stuck with me for that long. It's going to be a bit of a poignant wedding anniversary this time around, in that Jean and Ted over here both passed away. Ted several years ago, but Jean just within the last month or so. So I think it's going to be a Jill's a Rush girl. I think that's going to be cracked open. Okay, 4th question. Record you regret buying. And I'm sorry this is rattling on a bit, but Jesus Christ, I've had a drink or 10 today, so what the hell. Think yourself lucky, mate, because Farley's video is coming next, and trust me, I'm going to have had more than that. So, records I regret buying. None. I've always bought albums for what I consider to be the right reasons. I wanted to hear the album. I've had a connection with the album. There was something about the album that I kind of wanted to move on with. Albums that have disappointed me, on the other hand, once I bought them, are different. So I've picked out 2. These are CDs. Elements of Friction, which is kind of AOR type band. This is one of those albums that I bought on the back of like record album reviews and stuff like that. I very rarely do that because I like just to kind of let my own mind work. But I bought this on the back of a record review because there was a couple of people on it who I knew and admired their previous work. So we've got Rob McCauley, who was in Grand Prix and MSG, Tommy Aldridge from Whitesnake, Ricky Phillips. I'm not sure who Marcus Nand is. I apologise if I've missed a great band he was part of. So you had this sort of super group of people who've been involved in great classic rock, AOR, pop rock type stuff. And boy, is this insipid. Now, I'm going to hold my hands up at this point and say I haven't listened to this in years. Probably, have I listened to it since I bought it, which was in 2001? Probably once, maybe. Not sure. I just remember being so underwhelmed when I got it. Haven't got rid of it because I've learnt in the past that music you dislike at this moment in time may be something that you come back to in the future and really like. I'm going to have a drink of this. Sorry. To those of you who are expecting something sensible and coherent, etc., I do apologise, but it's only going to go downhill from here, and I'm going to do at least one more video tonight. So there you go. The other one I'm going to mention was for largely the same reasons. The people involved are so much better than the sum of their parts. So this is Sahara Snow. So it's got Rick Springfield, Bob Marlett, and and Tim Pierce, who are, I mean, Rick Springfield you'll know, Jesse's Girl and all that. Bob Marlett and Tim Pierce are kind of stalwarts of classic rock, AOR type stuff. I'd heard really good things about this album. I'm not sure there's anything to say with the fact that they're both on MTM. Maybe there is. Again, take it or leave it. I'd rather leave it. I'm not even sure how much that's worth. I might have a look. I've never seen it shown anywhere else. Same for Elements of Friction. But there you go. That's two albums. Don't necessarily regret buying, but I'm disappointed having bought. Final one was an album you regret selling. Now, anyone who's seen my BC introduction, that's all two of you, will know that when I was a student, I sold a lot of records to pay for the Mighty Beer. Yeah, some of those sales were worthwhile. Unfortunately, some of them were very, very naive. I sold a lot. I sold at the time what wasn't doing it for me, which was prog rock. It was probably a 2-month period where prog rock didn't mean anything to me. But within that 2-month period, I sold probably around 20 or 30 albums I wish I'd never got rid of. And the one I regret most selling was my copy of In the Court of the Crimson King. This is the DGM 200 gram remaster. No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I had a first press Pink Label Island copy. I might have done. but it might have been a pink room copy. It was one of the two. I just can't remember. All I can remember is the guy behind the record counter went, "I'll have that," and then gave me £2 or £3 for it. It is what it is. But there you go. So, sorry, Mike, I'm fucking whittering on here. There you go. Album I most regret selling. Well, this was meant to be a bloody quick one, and it's taken me, I can't see the time on here, but I imagine it's about 20 plus minutes. Sorry, Mike. Love your channel. Love the fact that there's another Northerner in the VC. Hate the fact that I'm wearing a t-shirt that's perhaps a little bit too tight for me. It did feel all right when I bought it, but in the wash it's come out a little bit tight. I'm sure if I just stretch it a bit and wear it a lot, it'll come out all right. Cheers, mate. If you're not following Mike, what are you doing? Great channel. He's got a brilliant love of music, primarily rock music, so thrashy 1980s, 1990s sort of hard rock. Can't describe it. I'm shit at this sort of thing. Watching is worthwhile watching. Cheers, mate. It's been a pleasure meeting you on the VC. Here's to many more subscribers because you deserve them. And apologies for the video that's coming up next. I do believe you're going to be the subject of my it's Farley's thing. What have you got to do? You've got to do an impersonation. Some you win, some you lose. Cheers, guys. Bye now.